Hi, I'm Tina Cummins,
I'm Belinda Powers. We are
True Crime Sages. Welcome back, everybody. I have to adjust in my seat pretty often because I have spina bifida. A lot of people aren't aware of that. Anyway, we're back tonight to discuss the Delphi homicides, and Belinda and I both feel like it's time that we bring some information out that I've been sitting on. It's been bothering me for over 3.5 years, and well, almost 3.5 years. So back when the girls first went missing, we did a video on this about a week ago, was it? We had said there's some things that we're aware of that we can't share with the public, and tonight we're going to share some of that. I have a feeling that what we had discussed is going to be called into question, and so I just want to share my proof that we knew about the video recorder and some other things back then, but we couldn't say anything. You know, when you have information about an investigation, you can't say anything, and sometimes even when you do, you know, you may not be taken seriously, but these things were turned in back then. And so I'm going to share screens now and let you see what's in my computer, part of what's in my computer, because I can't share everything. All right. You okay with that, Belinda? Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Okay, so as you can see, this is my photo bay, and I searched up March 5th, 2017, and these are the images that popped up. I'm going to click on them now. Now, in this first image, I thought this was a logo in the beginning, okay? But then I thought, that looks like an earphone, and that looks like a headphone. It looks like a set of headphones. And I noticed the wire, but if you look closely, there's a patch on the arm of the sleeve. And on this side, there's some straps that are holding another device that also may be a recording device. I'm not sure, hasn't been identified. I'm going to blow this up, pull this over. I want to see if anybody, it's very difficult to see what this patch or insignia is because it's, you know, obviously pixelated. But as you notice, there's a patch on the arm here. And if I back out a little bit, maybe you can get a better image of that. I don't know what that patch or insignia is. Belinda and I, how many patches do you think we looked at, Belinda?
at least 1,000.
Yeah. I mean, we tried to find it. This also looks like a recording device here. Yeah, we tried. We did the best we could. We're going to back that out and then go to the next image and see now clearly marked camera. And then you can see this is a headphone, this is a headphone, this is a wire, this is a patch. This appears to be rope, straps, another camera. Okay. And again, this was done in March 5th, 2017. Now, I thought that the jacket was inside out, but it's not. And I questioned if firefighter patches, question mark, question mark. There were some firefighter patches that looked similar to that patch, but I couldn't get a match. And there's no real clear way of pulling it out to see what that patch actually is, but I'm talking about the style of it, how the lines come down like this, and then it's a circle patch. But, you know, circle patches are very common, and it's very difficult to see what's inside the patch. And when I say I tried everything to bring that patch out to figure out what it was, I don't have the capabilities for that on my computer. Now, clearly you can see I have a video recorder or camera mark. Again, there's another device here. And then, you know, the other things that have been discussed, the knife, the deer kit. Now, I did night imaging on this and tried to see what I could, you know, get out of it. Yeah. This I, you know, try to figure out what this was, this shiny object here, and there's another shiny object down here. I don't know if that's long hair or not, but in images that I'd blown up, it appears that he, at the time, had longer hair. And so the camera could have been held up with a hat band, and then the top of his hair just pushed up, parted in the middle, and just shoved up there. So, yeah. As you can see, you've got the camera outline trying to figure out what the patch is, but you can't see the patch in the night image, but you can see the outline of the weapon here. Now, something very interesting on this, talking about James Bryan Chadwell, he's got some pictures of wearing boat shoes. And in this image, it looks like, and it could just be artifact, but it looks like the outline of toes. And those would be consistent with boat shoes. And so, you know, the problem is it looks like this one is, you can just barely see the toe here. Now, I didn't outline the big toe, but it looks like toe, 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 toe. And in James Bryan Chadwell's pictures, he did have on those canoe shoes, rowing shoes, whatever they're called, and one of the, that doesn't mean he's guilty. But when we were discussing this the other night, Belinda and I had talked about the shoes, and I wanted people to see that and be aware. Again, you know, stocky build. Now in the night images, he doesn't seem to have much of a beer belly or a beer gut. So yeah. Blow this up. Now what's confusing is in this image, unless it seems like right here, this is pixelated. Like the shoes, for whatever reason, are pixelated. And I don't know if that was done intentionally. Also, you can't see the patch on his sleeve in this picture because of the coloring. He's also holding something in this hand. Anyway, we stop sharing for now. Now, Belinda knows I've gone through, I mean, the video. I've lived with this for 3.5 years. I can't imagine what the family's going through. But I've spent countless hours trying to go through pictures, video, frame by frame by frame by frame by frame of everything on those images to try to figure out what's going on with this character. Ever since my first psychic reading, I was hesitant to get involved, and so was Belinda, because we were doing other things. But ever since that happened, and since I had that initial connection with Libby, it's until Mark Redwine was convicted, it was, you know, driving incessantly into my brain. And I want him caught. And so, you know, I feel like it's necessary to share this patch. Maybe someone out there will recognize it. I don't know what law enforcement's going to feel about it. But the video camera's already out there. I believe at this point the patch is out there. So, you know, let's just get it out there for everybody. If you know what this patch is, if you know what the identifier is on the sleeve, then please, you know, call in the tip if you are certain of what that is. This may help identify him. But back when I first discovered this, you know, I turned in this information. I sent the information to law enforcement. I spent a lot of money that I didn't have sending in stuff to law enforcement on this case. And with everybody that they dismissed, anybody that came up as a person of interest, Belinda and I were working, trying to figure out what we could figure out. And, just because we don't put all that information out on social media doesn't mean we're not working on it. We do a lot behind the scenes, and, in this instance, we're not looking for the girls, we're looking for the killer. And, he's still out there. And so hopefully he's incarcerated. And, if it's Mark Redwine, I wish the police would come out and say, okay, we've got his DNA, he's been caught. But again, it takes time to build a case. If it's James Chadwell, if not, I have someone else in mind. And that's the thing about psychic information, when it's sometimes, especially when there's a lot of crime in a specific area, there's a lot of pedophiles and, sex offenders. It's very difficult to hone in on just one. It comes in God's time. Everything comes in God's time, not ours. And, we want it to be now, but still, I guarantee you that on the other side of this world, there will be judgment, no matter who you are. And that's the tragedy. These people that are out here doing this, they're self-serving, self-motivated, and they don't, obviously, well, some of them claim to, but I doubt they seriously believe in God, because if they did, they would know that there's justice on the other side. Having seen the other side and having seen Christ, I know there is. And it's a tragedy for everybody. It's a tragedy for the girls. It's a tragedy for the families. The damage goes on and on. But it's also a tragedy for the perpetrator, because they're sentencing themselves to hell. We're supposed to pray for our enemies, and I find difficulty in that, especially when it's a child predator / killer. Yeah. Anything you'd like to add, Belinda?
Well, we could talk about the channel.
Oh, okay. So Belinda and I, what were you going to say? So Belinda had suggested to me that we go live. I've never done that before.
I've never done it.
We're going to try to go live, but we're not going to talk about cases going live. We might, if you ask a question, we may or may not answer it on a case. But, we may go live and do some psychic readings. I think that would be fun. We may go live and try to do like a fundraiser for Jody Power Search and Rescue. After all, everybody spends their own money doing it. And, if you're into that and you want to help, you could donate to JPRST. But yeah, we talked about going live. I'm kind of excited about it, a little nervous. It's been a long time since I've done any radio or anything like that, any programs, but it's exciting. So hopefully, in the near future, we'll put up a date and Belinda and I will go live on YouTube. Yay. Now, this is my first foray through the, video editing. So I'm hoping that, the images, the pictures, and the screen share and all that stuff worked out. I'm not good with Windows 10. I'm terrible. I am not computer savvy, and I'm just learning how to do all this. But Belinda and I did come up with a trailer video that we're going to attach to the beginning of our videos. And, we're trying to make our channel look nice and trying to be professional as far as, not a YouTube channel professional, but look, we're two old ladies that sit at home and work on cases, and we are who we are.
Yeah, we don't pretend to be nobody.
Yeah, we're not pretending. I'm tired. My teeth gag me. I'm not sticking them in my mouth. I'm not going to get all dolled up, put up makeup and all that horse shit. This isn't about us anyway.
It's not about, it's not about that. We're not taking.
Right. It's not about that, so we don't care. If the public wants to make fun of me for the way I look tonight.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, and we'll do this one. This is one my dad always used to do. Yeah. You need a good laugh, you know, just look at me in the morning.
I was the one that always ran from like cameras and stuff. You know, I never wanted to be on the news. I never wanted to do videos and
You know, something's always bothered me. Looks, you know, people focusing a lot on looks. I don't give a shit. If somebody's gonna love me, they're gonna love me and accept me for who I am, not for what I look like. So I don't care.
well, a lot of times I get really emotional. You know, I get lost in my feelings. And sometimes the best thing I can do is just shut up. You know, just so I never wanted to be on the news for that. They would say, like, you know, we were working on a case, or when Jody went missing, they would come out to do the interviews, and I'd just be like, oh no, I don't want to do it. But I had to. I didn't have a choice.
Well, and this is, you know, it had to be terrifying, especially since it was your daughter that was missing, and a horrific situation all the way around. This is for the missing and the murdered, and you know, if I look like an idiot, I apologize, but you know, I think Belinda and I have a lot to bring to the table. And this is not something I talk about a lot, but you know, I've earned a lot of presidential volunteer service awards and
Yes, you have.
awards for working on in-person cases, and it's not bragging. It's, you know, I don't even hang them up. They're in a drawer somewhere. But
yeah, we have a lot of certifications and
absolutely, you know, and you do drones, you do water, land, water search. I mean, everything. JPRST does everything. So, you know, and working as a psychic, I put in
that's a bonus.
hours.
That's a bonus. Yeah. You know, that helps us tremendously with cases. It gives us the insight of it.
Yeah.
Almost gives us, you know, definitely help.
Yeah. So anyway, getting back to what I shared tonight on Delphi, if you recognize the insignia, the patch on the sleeve of the coat, you know, the jacket, please call in to Indiana State Police. Or to Carroll County Sheriff's Office, or that, you know, the Abby and Libby line. We greatly appreciate it. If you know the person, for God's sake, turn them in. These girls didn't deserve this. And, you know, Belinda and I had done a video earlier, and I burst out into tears. You know, you people might think that we don't carry this home at night, but we do.
Very much so.
Yeah. And, you know, living with it every day, listen, you know, you go to sleep after you work a case, and, you know, you images racing through your mind and things racing through your mind. And it's very difficult sometimes, and you got to just.
Yeah, sometimes you got to pull back a little bit.
Pull back and say,
yourself.
This is not my life. This is someone else's pain, and I can't own it.
Well, because it just gets too hard to endure.
It does. When you've worked as many cases as Belinda and I have worked, and others that we know and love, it becomes very difficult. And you know, I had a friend, well, we had a friend who worked on missing person cases for 25 years. And again, she told me, you know, you could put it down for 2 years and come back and it'll still be there. And that she couldn't do it anymore. It was tearing her mind up and her heart up. And, you know, Belinda and I, and most people who do this work on a regular basis, on a consistent basis, eventually it affects you emotionally. Now, that doesn't compare to the pain that, you know, these mothers feel, like Belinda, who have gone through a missing and murdered child. It doesn't compare to the pain. And I'm not going to pretend that it does. But whatever we can do to help, that's what we're here for. That said, we can't share everything with the public. We can't.
You know, one thing I want to say, I think I spoke about it on another video, but I'm going to go ahead and say it again. Tim Miller from Texas EquiSearch. He came to help assist in Jody's case, my
Yes.
daughter. And that was the morning that they found her. At that point, I didn't know that they found her, but he did. And he came up to me and he was hugging me. And I told him, I said, Tim, please find her. Bring my baby home. Just please find her. And I broke down. I'm crying. I told him I'm sorry. And he said, honey, he said, the day that I don't cry when we bring a child home or bring a loved one home, he said, is the day I will not do missing persons again.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, you
Yeah.
know, wow.
Yeah. Because
That's the heart. That's the heart.
you know, Belinda and I talk about missing person cases like we're far removed from it, but that's not true. It's actually what drives us. You know, our emotions drive us.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes we look hard, but we're not hard. Hard is when you have no emotion. We're full of them. We just have to shove them down or push them out of the way in order to do this work. It's a matter of survival, mental survival. You know, on that note, again, I'm not going to make this a long video, but you know, please let me share this picture one more time with this logo, just so everybody, I'm going to share screen again, just so everybody can see it again. And I would like for you to get it out there and, you know, share it with the public, see if anybody knows what it is, you know, what patch is, what insignia it is. So here we go. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit again. If you can see this on the sleeve here, we got the wire, we got the headphones, we got the camera here, what looks like another one over here, some straps going around it, rope. But look at this patch. If you can see that patch and you know what it is, please turn in the tip. Want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And again, those pictures were back on March 5th, 2017. So from the very beginning, Belinda and I have worked on this. We don't often go out in the public, but you know, I talked about how Belinda and I talked about how from the beginning we knew it was a serial predator. From the beginning, working as a psychic, I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just went from there. And so knowing what I saw in my head versus when they released the photo, it was a little bit easier for me versus the public to put two and two together. Yeah. That's all for tonight, folks. Belinda, do you have anything you want to add?
No, just thank everyone for coming and watching us. And
Yeah, and please, you know, we don't usually ask people to share, but in this instance, please share. If you feel like subscribe. If you don't, that's fine too, but please share this video. Please get the information out there because somebody may know who this guy is, and we've waited long enough. You know, if law enforcement, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I believe the information about the patch is out there, but if they haven't shared it and we're sharing this, you know, it is what it is. It's been 3.5 years, enough.
yeah, it's time.
You know, I turned this into law enforcement over 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, like 3-4 weeks after it happened, after I discovered it. And so, yeah, we're putting it out there. All right, guys, that's all for tonight. Please pray for the family, pray for Abby and Libby, and God bless. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.